Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Alhamdulillah, bersyukur kita kehadrat ilahi kerana dengan limpah dan kurnianya dapat kita bersama-sama pada petang ini mengikuti sesi perkongsian penilaian pemilihan anugerah L'Oreal Unesco Award for Women in Science. Dengan penceramah jemputan kita pada kali ini iaitu Prof Madya, Dr. Wan Iryani, binti Wan Ismail. Okey, untuk makluman semua, anugerah L'Oreal UNESCO untuk wanita dalam sains adalah untuk mengiktiraf dan memartabatkan wanita yang telah menyumbang dalam kemajuan bidang sains melalui penyelidikan. Webinar ini akan memberi penerangan mengenai anugerah dan kriteria anugerah tersebut. Jadi kita jemput sendiri pakar dan juga pemenang untuk anugerah tersebut ya. Okey, sedikit saya akan kongsikan di sini sedikit latar belakang ataupun ringkasan pengenalan diri penceramah kita pada petang ini, iaitu Prof Madya, Dr. Wan Iryani, Wan Ismail. Okey, Prof Madya, Dr. Wan Iryani, Wan Ismail, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan semua merupakan seorang pensyarah dalam bidang farmaseutika, bioteknologi di Fakulti Sains dan Sekitaran Marin, Universiti Malaysia Terengganu. Beliau telah memperolehi ijazah sarjana muda dan sarjana dari Universiti Sains Malaysia dan PhD dari University of Cape Town, Afrika Selatan. Okay, sepanjang berkhidmat sebagai seorang pensyarah sejak 12 tahun yang lalu, beliau telah memperolehi 48 grant penyelidikan yang berjumlah 8.1 juta daripada pelbagai sumber seperti grant universiti, nasional, swasta, industri dan antarabangsa. Daripada grant tersebut, beliau telah mengetuai 18 grant yang berjumlah lebih kurang 1.3 juta. Baiklah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan semua, sepanjang bergelar sebagai pensyarah, beliau iaitu Dr. Prof Madya, Dr. Wan Iryani telah memenangi lebih anugerah dalam dan luar negara, termasuklah anugerah Fellowship for Women in Science L'Oreal UNESCO pada tahun 2019. Beliau turut memegang pelbagai jawatan penting di peringkat nasional dan antarabangsa seperti pengerusi jawatan kuasa Working Group for Honey Specification di bawah Jabatan Standard Malaysia iaitu jawatan kuasa khas di bawah Kementerian Perdagangan Antarabangsa dan Industri (BT), ahli jawatan kuasa teknikal perlebahan negara di bawah Kementerian Pertanian dan Industri Makanan dan wakil Malaysia ISO Global di peringkat antarabangsa. Beliau turut dilantik menjadi penilai proposal grant penyelidikan nasional di Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi untuk grant FRGS dan PRGS. Di samping itu, Prof Madya Dr. Wan Iryani juga telah dilantik sebagai salah seorang penilai anugerah Fellowship for Women in Science L'Oreal UNESCO tahun 2020 dan merupakan salah seorang ketua kluster penilaian dan pemantauan grant di UMT. Hebat juga Alhamdulillah. So dapat kita bersua hari ini dan mendengar sendiri daripada pemenang dan juga penilai L'Oreal UNESCO. Alhamdulillah, tanpa membuang masa, saya serahkan program ini kepada Dr. Wan Iryani. Silakan Doktor.
Okey, terima kasih banyak-banyak kepada Puan Suhaiti, pengurusi majlis kita pada hari ini. Cuma saya risau keadaan internet lah, mungkin akan ada hiccup sedikit. Saya mohon maaf atas kesulitan yang berlaku. Itu normal normal baru kita. Jadi saya akan kongsi dahulu slide presentation saya hari ini. Okey, bagi memudahkan penerangan saya lah insyaAllah. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon to all participants. So thank you, thanks again to our chairperson for the nice introduction. So I would like to share a little bit about judging criteria, how to to select to choose the best winner for the L'Oreal UNESCO based on my experience last year. So hopefully by this sharing session, we like to increase participants from UMT, particularly from UMT, and hopefully we can get more winners from UMT for this year. Okay. So as mentioned by our chairpersons about Laureate UNESCO Fellowship, that I would like to highlight again here that this fellowship, it is not only about normal grant. Yes, it is not about like FRGS or ERGS or Science Fund and so on. But actually, this fellowship is considered as one of recognition and one of called as award lah, Anugerah, but to our women scientists in Malaysia. So it is was first awarded in 2006 and by the Laureate UNESCO Foundation. And every year, mostly they will choose 3 winners from different types of disciplines. And until now, they have about 40 women scientists nationally recognized through this fellowship. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, this fellowship was started in 2006. Until now, there are about, if we want to count from the previous winners, actually we have 43 winners so far to receive this fellowship. And as I mentioned to you, that this fellowship actually want to acknowledge achievements among women scientists. And definitely from this acknowledgement, then that means the authorities will highlight our contribution to the science. And definitely through this fellowship as well, most of the winners will be recognized nationally and also at the international level. And indirectly through this fellowship, then the winners mostly will gain more visibility at the local and also at the international level. And definitely through this kind of achievement, through this kind of exposure, definitely they will help the women scientists to accelerate their career development to become to higher level compared to the previous one. So here I would like to highlight that Fellowship for Women in Science, FWIS, Laureate UNESCO. That's actually that's a good platform and to all the women scientists, no matter whether you are from PhD student, you are now doing PhD, or you just complete your PhD study, or you just consider as a young researcher, definitely I would like to encourage you to apply this fellowship. Okay, so because from my own experience, I will gain a lot of benefits from this kind of fellowship. All right, so as I mentioned to you, these are our previous winners. Okay, we have PS Dr. Rosita Dola from UTN. We have Dr. Umi Fazara from UNIMED. And lastly, we have Dr. Goh Perkongsian, also from UTN. So we can see here, actually they have 2 winners from UTN. It is common, actually, it is common to have 2 winners, even from the same universities. So I hope we can have more than 1 winner from UNT this year, okay? Because we can see it is a common practice to highlight or to choose the best winner from any university, no matter if they come from the same university, it's okay. Yeah? Like last time, they also have 2 winners from USM, mostly come from USM. And I can show to you there's a lot of winners actually came from University Science Malaysia. And definitely I would like to share to you how they can achieve this kind of recognition. And from this sharing, actually I also like to highlight, actually 3 of these winners came from my selection. Basically, they have 2 phases of the called judging criteria. Okay, 2 stages of judging criteria. The first stage, they came from called as preliminary judging. okay, preliminary judging, mostly came from previous winners. Okay, previous winners. Like in my case last year, I was chosen as one of the jury from my batch. Okay, so my batch ada 3 orang yang menang, tapi saya je yang terpilih daripada from my batch, and they choose another winners from the other batch. So that means we have 3 judges last year to choose the best winner, the best proposal. Basically, we have 94 proposals last year. That's 94 proposals last year, and the organizer divided the proposal into the 3 groups, and then I received my proposals. It's about 31 proposals, and then I evaluated 31 proposals, and luckily, and from 31 proposals, I need to choose for the best 4 proposals. Okay, I need to choose for the best 4 proposals, and from the 4 proposals, luckily 3 of them were chosen as the winners for the 2020. Okay, so I will show to you how they managed to win this kind of fellowship. Okay, so like me, I'm the winner from the last year. We have 3 winners here. So I'm the only winner was chosen to be a jury last year. And then we have, okay, I showed you briefly all the winners from the previous fellowship, and from my Google, I was trying to find their information, and most of the winners actually they managed to accelerate their career development better, and most of them now they are professor in their field. Okay, like this one in 2018, 2017, there's many winners here, and like this one from UPM. Okay, so this you can see this Dr. Wahizatu. Dr. Wahizatu actually was our first winner from UMT in 2014. Okay, so many. There's some of them now VC and TNC at the local university. I just showed you briefly lah. Semua ni pemenang the previous winners. They managed to become excellent in their field. Okay, so you can see setengah tu memang dari same university pun ada. And ini the first batch, the first batch of the laureate UNESCO in 2006. Now mostly they mostly are professor lah, macam Prof Dr. Latifah Saifuyazan kat UPM, Prof Christel, and Prof Munirah now. They are very excellent in their field now. Okay, so for this year, they start to open for the application since 14th of June. So actually you are lucky for this year because they open this application regardless of your field. So any fields, any expertise of your field, you can apply. And you can apply because like last year, they just focus on climate change. And they only focus on climate change. So that's why we received only 94 applications only last year. It was considered low lah, because last time they received almost 200 applications throughout Malaysia, but last year they only received 94 because they are very particular in terms of the field. So they narrow down the application into the climate change. So it is very limited, very limited application last time. And again, this year they go back to the original approach. That means they open this application to any field of study. Sorry, okay. So they open the study in any scientific field, and definitely you have to be under the age of 40 years. That's the standard regulation. Okay, terms and conditions here that you need to be under the age of 40 years, whether you have PhD or you are doing PhD at this moment. Okay, so again, they will choose the best 3 female women scientists, and each of them will receive 30,000 of a fellowship. Even it is, some of you maybe think it is too little to receive only 30,000 per person. But again, I would like to highlight here, it is not all about money. Okay, it is not all about money because L'Oreal UNESCO Fellowship, it is not a grant. Okay? It is considered as starting point, stepping stone for you to go further. And they will help you in terms to increase your visibility, in terms of to accelerate your career development, and also will help you in terms of to increase your skill in terms of communication, to expose yourself, and so on. Okay, so from this announcement, so you can go straight to the link, but I will share you later on. I will try to go every single step of the application with you after this. But in case you have more questions, I would like to encourage you to email direct to Madam Sharifah Nadia, okay, through this email, comms.my@loreal.com. So the person, the PIC, person in charge, named as Sharifah Madam Sharifah Nadia. So she will help you more about the application. Okay, so this if you go to the link, to the there's a link I just share with you here. Then you can see this is the first page of the website. Okay, you need to log in first. Okay? You need to log in to put your email address. I would suggest to you to use official email address. Okay, then you need to have to put your password and so on. Then you can log in through the application form. But for my side, because I already received this award, I'm not eligible to log in, to re-log in to my application. Dia tak boleh, dia dah tutup. Alright, so once you manage to log in into the website, so you will receive this notification. There's this application. That's just opened last week, 14th of June, and we have ample of time because the deadline is August 15. So I would like to suggest to you to start the application as soon as possible. Walaupun lambat lagi, it's good for you. There's a good practice for you to start from now. Okay, because you have more time to edit your proposal, to edit your application, and so on. So they will have candidates final selection. That means during the time within 15th of August to 27th of October, they will have 2 selections stages during the time. As I mentioned to you earlier, they have a preliminary judging stage, and they have a second judging stage, mostly come from professors in the field. Okay, so this because it is a local fellowship, so it is only eligible for Malaysia only. Okay, and then they will provide 3 endowments. That means 3 fellowships, 30,000 for each. That is open to all Malaysian women, whether you have PhD or you just continue your PhD study now. And definitely you need to conduct your research in Malaysia. You may have a collaborator from overseas, but you need to conduct, you need to complete your research in Malaysia. So yeah, okay, so again here, it is mentioned that you all this application is open to all scientific field, and you must be below than 40 years old. Okay, this is such kind of selection criteria, but I will explain to you in detail after this. All right. So we have 51 days from now. Yeah, I will still consider as ample time, but please, you need to start earlier. Okay. After you manage to log in, then you will see this is the first phase of your application form. Then you need to put your title of your application kat sini, maksudnya tajuk projek. Okay? You need to put your title of your research, tajuk projek. And then you need to put your native language, apalah, BM ke English ke sebagainya. Okay, you letak je. Ni tak ada markah pun ni. But you just consider as a general information. Okay. This one, yes. Ini penting. Kalau you all tengah sambung PhD, so pilih doctoral level. Okay, pilih doctoral level. Kalau yang dah habis PhD, dia lecturer, mostly lecturer. So you choose postdoctoral level. Okay, so last university degree ni, contoh yang lecturer, so you choose your call your PhD punya university lah. Atau mungkin dah ada buat postdoc after you complete your PhD, so you put your PhD and postdoc punya university lah in this here. Display your field bila tulis je detail. Kalau contoh postdoc tu dapat daripada mana? US, UK, masuk je semua ni. Ini tak ada apa sangat. Maybe for this the last one. Okay, the last one. What is your name of your current supervisor? Tutup video dapat internet masih. Okay, what is your current supervisor? Kalau you student PhD, you can put your supervisor name. Tapi yang lecturer dia boleh pilih nak letak mentor's name. Okay, you can put your mentor's name. Tak kisahlah mentor tu laki ke perempuan, tak ada masalah. Ataupun you tak ada mentor, maybe you have one research grant, you work together with senior person. You also can put your senior names here lah as your current supervisor. Sambil tu kalau ada soalan nak tanya, boleh saya mungkin go through cepat sikit untuk application ni. What is your current lab? So yang sekarang ni kalau lecturer, ada kerja lecturer, so you can put your current lab lah. Contoh kalau kat Fakulti Sains Marin, dia kerja kat lab biochem. You can put in lab biochem ataupun central lab. Okay? Mana lab yang the most common lab that you use at the university. Kalau PhD student, you put your current lab that you use mostly in your study. Current research institute, macam kita, you can choose either to put UMT atau if let's say you work under INOS, for example, you can put INOS name here. And just sama sekali yang current laboratory. Let's say macam in my case, I have a few collaboration that I need to use different types of lab. Saya guna lab itu dekat Mardi. Kat Mardi dan juga kat UMT. So I put both addresses here, alamat kat UMT dan juga alamat di Mardi. Okay, to show that you have called established research. Bukan sekadar kat UMT saja. So if you can put more than one address here, it is better lah. It's better. Kalau kat sini you put INOS or Acotrop ke, IMB, or you just put UMT or Fakulti of Sains. Kat sini pun tak masalah. Current Research Institute Organisation. Kalau Universiti UMT. Okay. So if see the question, are you financially supported for this research? Okay. Yang ini maksudnya research kita nak apply ni, katalah kesinambungan daripada previous research, previous grant. Okay. So then you have the current grant, but it is almost finished, for example, by the end of this year. So you can put yes. Ini tidak mempengaruhi, Ini tidak akan mempengaruhi dapat tak dapat fellowship. Okay, this just only to show whether you have a current research or you just start from scratch. Okay, but I would suggest to you to put put yes lah if you have grant, because that means you have ongoing project, and then you need this fellowship to go further. Okay, so kalau tak ada pun tak ada masalah. It doesn't affect anything to your application. Okay, and have you received any other fellowship or scholarship? It is also similar to the grant lah. Dan kalau ada dapat sekarang, dah dapat fellowship daripada organisation lain pun tak ada masalah. It doesn't affect your application. Alright, so for this part, you need to write everything here. Okay, for oral presentation, ikut format dia ni. Authors, title, conference, date and location. Put everything here. Kalau lagi banyak lagi bagus. Itu konsep dia. Because they have call mark for complexity of your CVs, and complexity of your CV or difficulties of your CVs, and to see how you are really active participate in your research. Okay, so you letak semua conference oral presentation, poster conference poster presentation, masuk ini semua. Okay, katalah lecturer yang apply, you can put conference master daripada master lagi ke PhD, it's okay to put everything here. Okay, and this is the most important part about research project. So you need to write in simple terms of your research work, not more than 200 words. Yang ni penting. Sebabnya yang inilah permulaan untuk judge, nak nilai your project. And how good is your project, how interesting is your project. So you need to write in simple terms, okay? In simple words. Guna bahasa mudah, guna bahasa layman. And you can use the layman terms. You can even you can choose to have what I call ayat yang atraktif pun okay, boleh. I will show you some example of this. Kita baca tu, kita tertarik nak baca further and to read more about the study. And to make it simple, attractive, but meaningful. I will show to you example later on. And again, here you need to put your title of research project. Okay, about the title, I would suggest to you to find a title yang attractive. Bukan title macam FRHS tu. Bukannya title yang skema sangat kalau boleh. Title yang menarik. Yang kita baca tu, kita boleh nampak dia nak buat apa, satu. Dan kalau boleh, kita nampak apa final product dia boleh hasilkan. Okay, apa final product dia boleh hasilkan daripada projek tu. Make it interesting for the title. Okay. Okay, ada soalan sambil tu tanya kan. Okay, I will share to you example later on about the how to write the research project in 200 words. It is considered as abstract lah, similar to abstract. So you can write in abstract punya format, but make it, again, try to make it in simple words and attractive. Okay.
Dr. Wan, ada
Yes,
soalan dari dekat ruang chat tu. Ada soalan
you tanya
daripada
pasal
Syah. Macam mana nak tulis research project dalam 200 patah perkataan sahaja? Boleh bincangkan dengan menggunakan contoh. Itu dia punya soalan.
Okay, boleh. Nanti saya akan tunjuk contoh lepas ni lah. Nanti
baik.
saya present ni, saya akan tunjuk contoh yang dah dapat lah. InsyaAllah. Alright, so now we go to publications. So you need to put everything again here. Kat sini. Tulis semua. Daripada WAS ke, Scopus ke, proceeding ke, abstract ke, buku ke, chapter in book. Put everything here. Okay? Try to make it as complex as possible. Itu penting. Okay? Patents. Okay, patents. You also can put copyright, trademark, secret here. Just mention lah. Itu not only about patent, but you also mention this about copyright, trademark, and so on. Prizes and awards here. Masuk juga semua daripada inovasi, whether it is from innovation, you got award the best oral presentation and presenter, the best poster, apa-apa. Dapat scholarship daripada My Brain. You also can put here. Okay. Okay, almost to the end of the application. So you need to attach a copy of your transcript, whether it is from degree, bachelor, master, and PhD. Okay, kalau you pilih yang yang doctoral study, kat sinilah atas yang akan kita pilih. Kalau postdoc, biasa dia akan ada untuk bahagian untuk attach PhD certificate kita. And last is about your letter of recommendation. Previously, they only provide one button only. Okay, one button, that's mean one recommendation letter. But now they put 3 buttons. Okay, so that's mean you can put more than one recommendation letter. So I would suggest to you to put as many as possible. Kalau you kata 3, masukkan 3. Dapatkan daripada referee, your previous supervisor, and so on to attach to this site. Okay, tadi dah habis the general information. Yang ni markah paling banyak. Okay, the most crucial part in your application form is about your study, your project. Okay, so you kena masukkan at least one document, maximum 2 pages only. Okay, 2 pages only in English, research project that you're looking forward and using this fellowship punya money. Okay, and last you put a list of publication. Walaupun kita dah masukkan tadi your WAS, your Scopus, proceeding, semua list, and the last part, but here you need to compile all the list of publication in one document, and you can attach through this part. So sebaik-baiknya save as draft dulu, jangan cepat-cepat submit. Okay? So at least from time to time you can recheck your application, especially your research project tu you boleh ubah lagi. Boleh ubah lagi dan reattach balik. Dah puas hati sangat dah rasa dah tak ada apa dah nak submit, nak edit, then you can submit. And then you can submit your application. And then once you submit, you cannot alter, you cannot change anything from the application. Memang dia takkan return lah. Memang dah habis lah. Okay, so that's why I would suggest to you to check your application properly before you want to submit to the secretariat. Alright, so far ada soalan ke untuk application form? Kerana contoh abstract tu I will show to you later on.
So far tak ada dalam ruangan chat. Doktor boleh teruskan?
Alright.
Okay.
So, yang ni yang paling penting, this is an important part. How we choose the winners from this fellowship. So I will share to you the criteria, all the criteria that we refer to in order to choose the winners. Okay. As I mentioned to you, last year application, we just received 94 applications. And why we received consider as low application, because last time we received almost 200 application, because last year they only focused on climate change. Okay, very narrow field. So dalam climate change saja. So even they highlighted about climate change punya field, still we received many application from other fields. For example, from my my proposal, ada yang hantar pasal orchid, pokok orchid. Pasal dia nak identify species of orchid. Tak ada kaitan langsung dengan climate change. So automatic kena reject lah. Macam-macam lah. Memang dia apply tak kena dengan tema. So memang kita kena reject. So last year very rigid because they have only one research field related to climate change. And luckily for this year, they open to all kind of disciplines of study. Good lah. So as I mentioned to you again here, they have 2 stages of judging process here. Stage 1, phase 1, preliminary jury panelist. Macam saya kata tadi, kita ada 3 orang hakim. 3 orang hakim, termasuk saya lah, tahun lepas termasuk saya. I'm considered as a representative from my batch. Okay. Lepas tu 2 orang lagi daripada batch lain. Okay. So last year consider very difficult lah sebab mostly we need to do it online. Tak boleh jumpa pun. Sepatutnya kalau macam sebelum-sebelum ni kita akan pergi ke KL, discuss dan sebagainya. But this time we did everything through online process. So we received the proposals from the L'Oreal Unesco. Then we have a limited time to evaluate all the proposals. After that, every single judge need to choose the best 4 proposals. And as I mentioned to you, we need to choose the best 4 proposals to be selected by the professors. Okay, to be selected by the professors. So we have phase 2 here, professors from in that field, kalau macam ni, that from climate change. So that means they have a professor from climate change punya orang lah. Okay, and from my experience, from my fellowship in 2019, they choose professor yang tak ada kaitan dengan yang pemenang. Okay, sebagai contoh, macam dalam top 5, top 4 yang saya pilih 2 proposal tu, katalah ada daripada UTM, ada Unimap. So they will make sure profesor yang terlibat dalam pemilihan tu bukan daripada universiti berkenaan. Dia akan pilih profesor dalam bidang climate change dan juga daripada universiti yang tak ada kaitan dengan final the best proposal. Tapi cuma tahun lepas kita tak sempat jumpa lah. Profesor ni saya pun tak tahu siapa profesor yang tahun lepas punya sebagai hakim. Tapi profesor yang masa batch saya kenal lah. Contoh Prof Bahar daripada UPM, Prof Fauzi daripada UTM. Masa tu memang tak ada wakil pemenang daripada UPM dan juga UTM. Jadi biasa dipilih lah profesor yang tak ada conflict of interest in terms of the selection punya procedure. Alright, yang ni penting. So how we choose the best proposal, the best winner? So we choose based on the project summary yang 200 patah perkataan tadi. Kan? 5 markah, yang ni dapat kita bagi 5 markah. Lepas tu kita tengok projek signifikan dia. So 5 markah darab 2, 10 markah. Lepas tu letter of interest atau letter of reference ni. 5.2 juga, maksudnya dia memang tinggi markah untuk surat reference letter tu. Sebab tu saya kata kalau dia tunjuk 3 button, so you can put 3 reference letters as well. Okay. So dia ada cara juga lah nak tulis reference letter ni, bukannya satu paragraf je. Dia ada kriteria dia juga. Okay, academic achievement, yang tadilah semua dia tulis oral conference, poster conference semua tu, pattern dan sebagainya, so they will give 5 marks. Okay. Then for research plan ni, yang tadilah research project, 2 pages of the research project tu, markah paling tinggi. 20 markah untuk research plan tu saja. And methodology ni yang ada dalam 2 pages tu. And contribution to science pun juga patutnya dibagi tahu di dalam research plan tu. Tadi tu publication kata tinggi juga markah 15. Sebab tu masuk je semua yang ada, publication yang kita ada. Okay, try to show complexity of your CVs lah. Okay. And lastly, the overall quality, they will look at all the whole application and proposal dia, background dia, everything. So from there, they will need to give 10 marks for the overall quality. Okay. So ni muka depan lah. Okay, Rafizah tanya research plan selalunya berapa tahun? Okay, good question. So I would suggest to you to have 1 to 2 years project. Okay, 1 year lagi better. Tapi paling panjang pun 2 tahun saja. Sebabnya your research project need to be balance lah dengan funding 30,000 tu. Tak banyak pun, 30,000 K. Okay, so that means you need to suggest the most possible project that can be completed within the budget provided to you, 30,000. So I would like to suggest to you to have 1 to 2 years project only. Okay. Alright, so this is interface muka depan untuk judge. So saya grading. So inilah. So dia ada 2 fasa untuk evaluate the proposal for the jury. Assignment 1 maksudnya preliminary judging. Ini profesor semua akan buat jury assignment 2. So you can see here. So that's the way how we give, how we evaluate the application. Okay, we can go one by one. For example, like project summary. Okay, project summary multiple 1, maksudnya 5.1 sajalah. So dia akan tengok relevance of topic, objective, scope and motivation are clear. That's the key point. How to write your project summary yang 200 patah perkataan tu, 200 words. So make sure you need to highlight how relevant is your topic, your research. Mention about the main objective, scope of your study, and what's your major motivation to do the project. Okay, tu cara nak tulis project summary. Okay, ada soalan ni? Boleh. Lab based okay, modeling and simulation pun okay, boleh. Kita ada pemenang daripada computer science lagi sebelum ni, and based on modeling and simulation work. So all field, all types of project you can do, you can apply for this fellowship. Alright, so for research plan, 2 pages of research explanation, yang dua muka surat tu paling banyak markah lah, 20 markah. So that means you need to clearly state the research questions and purpose, originality of concept, and for example, like you the first one in the world in Malaysia and generate this kind of research. You need to mention about that, okay? And provide brief summary of problem and how proposed research would go about solving problem. So basically ni dia secara tak langsung berkaitan dengan method lah secara tak langsung. Okay, so you highlight the major problem, and major problem, major gap of your study, and then you suggest your solution and explain how your solution is the novel one, how original is your approach. Okay, and then you mention how you through your solution, and then you can solve the problem and you can fill the gap of your study. You cerita sikit lah macam mana you approach tu, mekanism dia tu boleh selesaikan masalah study yang you nak fokus tu. Boleh? Dia dah bagi poin-poin yang kecil ni sebagai rubrik lah secara tak langsung. Then we go to project significance. So to see how your project ni with the current situation. Okay? For example, like we have a COVID-19 problem now. So please relate your problem with the current situation. What WHO has done, what the current approach has been chosen, and how your approach and is the most significant one can solve the problem. So you can highlight lah the project significant here. Indirectly, you explain about the method in the research plan tu. Okay, the method tu you design based on your objective, scope of study. Make sure your research tally to the time and also money provided for the fellowship. Jadi you nak buat apa dah sampai human study for the 30,000K, it sound not possible lah, kan? So you make sure your method sesuai dengan budget 30K tu. Okay, so for letter of reference, memang dia ada markah untuk surat tu. So the recommendation letter should discuss both the scholarly capabilities and also personal character. And kena cerita. So dalam surat tu tak kisahlah you sendiri yang karang surat tu ke, tapi make sure you highlight both how credibility you as a researcher. Katakanlah ada yang saya baca tu dia single mother, dia sebagai single mother. So they highlight, even though she's a single mother, she managed to look after your children. Dia cerita lah briefly about your family, how she managed to balance between career and family. So you can put all the information related to your research, experience, and also your personal character indirectly. And then we go to contribution to science. It's also related to project significance tadi lah. So let's say you want to suggest kalau macam climate change, you want to suggest ada menghasilkan alat, boleh kita jimat nak tukar aircon tu banyak masalah. You want to change a new tools, a new equipment that can reduce reduce the temperature, but at the same time can can give a high impact in terms of green approach, something like that. So you need to explain how this approach will give effects to the industry, to the community, in terms of economy and so on. Okay, and try to relate your approach with the national policy, national setting, and how your approach actually in line with what the government has set in their approach. Okay, boleh kait kalau sekarang ni more to SDG for example, okay, or maybe wawasan kemakmuran. So yes, you can relate with the policy in your research plan. Then we go to academics. That's your CV tadi. You dapat awards macam-macam, award daripada MPI ke, ITAX ke, okay. You pergi conference, you get attachment. So you can see here, we can see we need to evaluate in terms of quality and difficulty of curriculum. And difficulty of curriculum. So that's why I told you that you need to put as much as possible information in your application to make it complex. Okay, to make it complex, maksudnya you are very active in your field. You're trying to do a lot of things to improve yourself. So we can give higher marks for this one. And publication tinggi juga 15 markah. Okay, you will see number, quality, and impact of scientific production of your publication. Kita tak tengok H-index dia, kita tak tengok citation dia, kan? But we'll see lah how active she involved in the publication. Tak kisahlah publication dia dalam WAS ke, Scopus ke, chapter input ke, proceeding. Just put all the information in the application form. And lastly, about overall quality. So as we will see again the whole application form, whether it is easily understood, well written, how about dia punya ada other activities. Dia masuk je, walaupun ada setengah tu dia tak tanya pun, tapi setengah tu you boleh masuk tempat-tempat yang sesuai lah. Kan? Contohnya, you publish dalam magazine, dia tak ada tanya pun, tapi dalam publication tu masuk je. You publish dalam magazine, you publish in newspapers, just put information. So, dia tu pun ada kaedah markah. So, kita akan bagi 10 markah lah. 5 direct paper. And lastly, as a judge, as a jury, I need to give overall comment. Comment ni penting lah. So, saya kena tengok the whole application. So, I will give comment. For example, I will choose the best 4 proposal. Itu memang lama juga, 2 minggu. Sebab I want to make sure I will choose the best one. So, from the, saya dapat 31 proposal. So, daripada situ, shortlisted jadi 10. Daripada 10, sebenarnya ada 5. I would like to suggest top 5 proposals. Tapi dia kata nak 4 je. Memang I will take a few days lah. Tengok betul-betul. Yang 5 proposal tu akhirnya pilih 4 saja. Dan daripada 4 tu, the best 3 tu dah jadi winners tahun lepas. Alright. So any questions so far? Boleh, that's all the judging criteria lah untuk the fellowship. Example ni saya boleh tunjuk cepat-cepat je, saya tak boleh tunjuk detail sangat. Tak ada soalan
So far tak ada, Doktor.
Alright. So sebelum kita pergi example, saya pergi pada borang tu dulu. Okay. Saya pergi pada borang tu secara online. Sambil-sambil itu kita pergi right. Alright. So ini yang online punya application. Saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih pada Dr. Siti Aisyah Razali sebab saya punya dah tak boleh nak buka dah. Sebab saya punya dah expired. So saya dah minta kebenaran pada Dr. Siti Aisyah. Kita akan guna yang beliau punya. Macam mana nak apply? Kejap saya kena masuk dulu ni. Kejap saya tengah buka dia. Kena relogin balik.
Okey, doktor, tak apa, doktor.
Sebab dia tu sikit. Okay, boleh nampak Okay. So, kalau kita tengok pada website ni, kita tengok pada bahagian atas dia ada untuk for girls in science, national and regional programs, international rising talents and international awards. Dia ada banyak kategori sebenarnya. Okay. Kalau yang mula-mula for girls in science untuk budak sekolah. Budak sekolah pun ada kategori. So for this one, we fall under national and regional programs. So kita yang Malaysia punya lah, kan? Then after we select the best 3 from Malaysia side, so yang winners tu sebenarnya akan jadi wakil negara untuk international rising talents. So that's mean bukannya dia tak akan buka a new application for international rising talents dan international awards. They will choose among the winners, okay, for international rising talents dan juga untuk international awards. Okay, so we go for our application about the national application. Okay. So kat sini ya title of your application ni macam saya kata tadi, patut tulis tajuk your proposal tu lah. You put your project title, try to choose attractive title, and personal information, itulah you put your general, your knowledge, your language and so on lah. So ni, dengar kat mana, poster kat mana, email dan sebagainya. Okay, tak ada apa, just demographic information only. Ini you can choose whether you PhD student, you choose doctoral level. Kalau postdoc, maksudnya lecturer lah. Akan oversee boleh for young researcher under 40 mostly fall under postdoctoral level. So kat Malaysia majority dah lecturer, so you choose postdoctoral level. Ni sama ke? Berisi direct ni. Kalau PhD, semua macam tak masalah ni. Masukkan semua. So you dah step 1 tu boleh nak tulis nombor 1, 3 pun boleh, tak masalah. Ataupun you nak asing dengan semicolon, apa semua tak masalah. Tapi semua tu bila kita dah submit, dia akan semua akan jadi satu baris. Itu memang automatic. Tapi try to make it setiap information tu kita clear lah, itu nombor 1, 2, 3 dan seterusnya. Okay, this one need to write in 200 words. Title of your project, application, ikut format dia. Dia nak start author dulu, title, jurnal, semua tu. Supporting document, ini you kena attach lah, transcript. Letter of recommendation and detail of your project, 2 pages only. Alright, so Kalau dah tu save as draft, baru ibu submit. Okay, simple je. Simple je. Tapi simple pun please take your time lah to prepare it. And jangan cepat-cepat submit. Sebab bila dah submit memang dah tak boleh ubah dah. Of the proposal, there's no format. There's no specific format to prepare the proposal. You must be creative. Try to prepare the proposal in 2 pages only. Jangan cuba-cuba adjust margin apa kan bagi muat 2 muka surat. Memang ada yang buat macam tu pun tak berjaya. Dia kecil sampai ada tu buat tulisan kecil sangat. Saya tak baca pun susah. So that's not about how long your proposal, but that's all about how you can present and convince your study in 2 pages proposal only. So it sounds difficult, sound impossible for some to some of you, but if you manage to spend appropriate time to prepare 2 pages proposal, it is possible actually. It is possible. Try to put everything, significance of project, how the project can contribute to science, to society, and so on, methodology, project plan, everything in 2 pages only. Okay, and from my experience, from my application, saya masukkan senar rujukan, references in my research plan, dan semua rujukan saya masuk tu semua cite daripada paper saya sendiri. That's another strategy to show how your project is quite established, but you need this through this. You mentioned that through this fellowship, you can go further a little bit and consider a stepping stone to apply another big grant for the next project. That's another approach you can use lah. But make sure you put everything lah, objective, method, project, significance of project, how the project can contribute to science, society, and so on. So I think that's all from me. I think now almost 4 o'clock, so I can open to Q&A if you have questions. So I will try to help you lah, insyaAllah.
Okey, sekiranya ada sebarang soalan daripada para peserta, boleh unmute. Boleh juga type dekat ruangan chat.
Okey, pasal KPI. Satu lagi kelebihan fellowship ni, dia tak ada KPI. KPI tu come from you. KPI, you yang janji, contohnya nak publish 2 paper. So dia tak ada KPI, dia just nak bagi duit je, tu anugerah. So you can use the money, it's up to you. Asalkan projek siap, dan lepas tu hantar report siap. Kalau tak janji, kalau dah janji nak hantar 2 paper, so you kena kepil lah 2 paper. Kalau you tak janji apa-apa, tak ada masalah. But I would suggest tak payah janji, tapi kalau dah siap tu kita hantar lah, kepil juga paper yang kita dah publish. So that's mean we achieve beyond what we promise through the application. Tapi nak janji juga, tak apa, tak ada masalah. Dia tak ada, no restriction about KPI. Alright. Any questions? Semua faham kot? Okay. Okay, reference letter. Tak ada masalah nak panjang mana. Tapi dicadangkan 2 pages is good enough lah. 2 pages is good enough. At least macam saya kata tadi, you make sure to cover all the your research aspect and also your personal character. So yang tu kena ada, 2 benda tu kena ada. Kalau 1 pages tu nampak sikit sangat. Dan kalau at least 2 pages tu sounds good lah. Cubalah apply semua Sebab ni saya dulu pun saya apply je, memang tak ada pun kita kata nak aim menang tu lain cerita. That's considered as experience kan. So macam saya sendiri kan, saya alhamdulillah saya dapat macam-macam grant, tapi sebenarnya saya dah apply lagi banyak grant dan separuh tu dah kena reject. Dan separuh kena reject. Jadi apa yang saya dapat dari kena rejection tu, I learn a lot from the rejection. So I can improve myself in terms of skill of writing, proposal writing. And jadi lain grant, lain application, they have their own guidelines. So there's something you can improve your skill lah, to be more flexible. Yes, dia tak ada restriction. You boleh apply sampai bila-bila selagi tak berumur 40 tahun ke atas. Tak ada masalah. Tapi yang biasanya dia akan ada rekod lah. Your own record. So macam saya dah tak boleh nak masuk dah, tak boleh nak login sebab dah lebih umur. Dan dia automatic dah shut down. Tapi kalau macam you all belum mencapai umur 40 tahun, you boleh masuk balik. Masuk balik, for example, your last year punya application, dan dia akan ada satu kotak. Yang kotak tu, dia akan tunjuk your history of application. Tahun lepas dia apply, apa semua tu dia ada. Dia ada record lah. Jadi memang tak ada limit. You can apply every year. Just make sure below than 40 years old. Okay. Tapi setiap tahun satu je application kita boleh hantar. Okay, clear semua kot. Ramai ni. Boleh apply ni.
Doktor, saya tak perasan doktor dah menjawab belum soalan yang application ini melalui panel dalaman di peringkat RMC atau direct saja.
Ada soalan tu yang tak perasan pula.
Ya ada.
Okay. Yang ni tak memerlukan melalui KRIM, tapi kita perlukan surat recommendation daripada KRIM. Jadi maksudnya bila kita minta recommendation daripada KRIM, dia ada rekod lah. Dia ada simpanan, kita apply sebagai wakil UMT. Macam saya dulu saya apply, saya minta surat recommendation juga daripada VC. Daripada VC, daripada bekas supervisor saya, dan juga daripada, sebab saya buat tu pasal HANI. So kita kalau yang buat pasal HANI, saya tahu siapa yang pakar rujuk di Malaysia. Tentu saya minta dia sebagai salah seorang referee lah. Kebetulan pula dia perempuan. So memang dia goreng layak dia. Dia sebab dari perempuan kepada perempuan ni, dia akan lebih bagi merit lah, support. Okay, kalau berjaya gagal. Okay, biasanya kalau gagal dia akan hantar surat. Dan dia memang akan hantar surat bagi tahu kita tak dapat. Yang dapat, dia akan telefon direct. Macam saya dulu, masa dia telefon tu, saya ingatkan scam. Saya memang mati-mati ingat scam sungguh. Saya dalam kereta masa tu, kat traffic light. Dan masa tu saya drive. Dan memang saya ingat nak tipu saya. So masa tu dah, dia kata, dia explain, lepas tu dia akan hantar email. So esoknya saya dapat email lah, bagi tahu secara detail apa yang saya kena buat dan sebagainya. Okay, for International Rising Talents and International Award, saya ada explain pada peringkat awal tadi. Kebiasaannya untuk anugerah ni, dia pilih daripada winners tu. Winners yang daripada National Fellowship. For example, like macam mana? Tahun lepas dah ada menang 3 orang. So, ya 3 orang itulah dia akan pilih untuk wakil Malaysia. Let's share. Okay. Macam contoh yang ni. So tahun lepas ni kita ada 3 pemenang. So daripada pemenang inilah dia akan pilih untuk jadi wakil untuk International Rising Star. So, itu untuk umur bawah 40 tahun. Ya, International Award tu untuk umur 40 tahun ke atas. Dan yang itu biasanya by nomination. Dia akan ada panel dia akan nominate. Bukan kita yang apply. So inilah saya kata kalau ikut normal practice, dan normal practice macam saya kata, kita ada 3 orang hakim untuk fasa pertama. Normal practice-nya setiap hakim tu dia akan dapat proposal yang berlainan. Okay, dapat proposal berlainan. So setiap hakim akan cadangkan the best 4 proposals to be selected by the second reviewer, second judge. So kebiasaannya dia akan ambil seorang pemenang daripada setiap hakim. Tapi mungkin kebetulan tahun lepas saya dapat proposal semua yang bagus-bagus dan tiga-tiga daripada pemenang tahun lepas daripada pilihan grup saya lah, proposal yang saya nilai. Jadi dia tak ada bias. Bukannya syarat dia kena ada pemenang daripada setiap hakim yang berbeza. Kemungkinan pemenang tu daripada hakim yang seorang. Macam saya memang semua tiga-tiga ni saya yang pilih. Dan the selection was verified by the second punya stage of judge lah. Jadi dia akan di-confirm by the professors. Dia akan daripada 3 ni confirm sebagai pemenang. Daripada 3 ni nanti dia akan pilih untuk wakil Malaysia untuk International Rising Star tu. Okay. Ada soalan lagi? Okay. So Chairman kata tak ada apa. So I would like to wish all the best to you. Okay, memang I believe all the women scientists, whether you are doing your PhD now or whether you already completed your study, whether you are a lecturer now, you actually are superwoman. Kerana setiap daripada kita amat berharga. Jadi percayalah, mungkin apa yang kita buat sekarang ni kecil pada pandangan mata kita, tapi percayalah hari nanti masa yang sesuai, at the right time, at the right place, all your efforts will be paid off. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you so much. I will wish you all the best, and then I'll return back to our chairperson, Puan Suhaiti. Thank you, and that's all from me.
Terima kasih Doktor di atas perkongsian yang sangat menarik ya. Alhamdulillah kita sangat beruntung pada petang ini kerana dapat perkongsian ilmu terus daripada pemohon, pemenang dan juga panel Laureate UNESCO. Alhamdulillah.
Suhaiti, saya lupa nak beritahu. Saya baru je dapat WhatsApp ni daripada L'Oreal. So kita akan ada roadshow.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
L'Oreal akan buat roadshow dan alhamdulillah saya sebagai salah seorang panel roadshow ni kita akan buat pada 15 dan 7.
Roadshow di mana? Di UNT ke Doktor?
Online.
Online di semualah, maksudnya semua peserta, semua IPT boleh join. Yes, daripada L'Oreal.
So
okey, 15
dan 7 pukul 11.30 pagi hingga 12.30 hari.
Okey, nanti kami boleh juga buat hibahan kepada warga. 15 Julai kita pun boleh tengok juga takwin kita, takwin latihan kita yang sedia ada untuk Julai punya program. Terima kasih Doktor.
Semua jemput hadir lah.
Okey, so kita sekarang ni ber-FB Live juga sebenarnya. Ada juga penonton kita dekat FB Live lah, tapi tiada soalan. Kebanyakan soalannya daripada Webex chat lah. Dengan itu saya rasa dah tak ada soalan daripada para peserta. Para peserta pun boleh isi borang balas kehadiran di ruangan chat yang telah dikongsi sebentar tadi. Okey. Ya, ada puji-pujian juga daripada kita punya pensyarah ya. Okey, kalau tak ada apa-apa kita boleh tutup program kita petang ini, Doktor? Atau ada harapan akhir daripada pemenang?
So, saya harap sangatlah ada wakil UMT tahun ni. Saya nampak ramai sangat potensi. Contohlah macam Dr. Wiki tu, potensi besar tu, apply lah. Dan ramai lagi, saya nampak ramai kat sini to apply.
Ya, yang peserta kita yang ada ni bukan saja women men pun ada masuk ni.
Itulah saya pasal. Kenapa?
Okey, tapi tak apa, ini perkongsian ilmu, alhamdulillah. Okey, sekali lagi saya selaku urus dia petang ini merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada Profesor Madya Dr. Iryani Wan Ismail di atas sesi perkongsian yang sangat menarik, dan juga kepada semua para peserta yang sudi turut serta pada petang ini daripada awal sehingga ke akhir. Okey, dengan itu saya sudahi program kita dengan wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.